Brian Berry here. I'll be your master of ceremonies for the next 30 minutes or so. Let me tell you a little bit about our company. I won't bore you with a lot of this because I know for some of you we're a known entity, but just in case we're new to you, first of all, I don't read slides. I tell people all the time, we all went to kindergarten, so we know how to read. And I'm sure you'll get a recording of this. But the bottom line is we've been around a long time. We grew out of a Sage 100 client that wanted to scan barcodes many moons ago, and something was written for them, and it's grown organically over the years. And now we have upwards of almost 10,000 users across Sage platforms. Sage has actually access to extend what we do in 100 to other Sage products, and we started doing that, okay? So I'm gonna move on real quick. And in case you're not really familiar, I know Laura told you a little bit, because we do some warehouse management, we do some mobile sales. Let me just sort of put a bow on it. WMS, that stands for Warehouse Management System. That's what you think of, excuse me, that's what you might think of as a typical distribution system. Receiving, picking, shipping, physical count, all that jazz that happens in the warehouse. Bring it in, move it around, get it out. We have 3 versions, Core, Select, Premier, and that's basically just different feature sets depending on what your needs are. Now, if you're curious, you can talk with your MicroAccounting rep. They will get me on the phone. It'll be me, whether like it or not. You're stuck with me. I head up the 100 team here, and we'll be talking, and I will ask you a ton of questions about your operation, find out all your wants and dreams and hopes for how you want your warehouse to work, and I will help you decide which one of those 3 versions makes the most sense for you in phase 1. And of course, you always have upgrade options down the road. Now, down below, label printing. We're a barcode company. Barcodes drive distribution systems. So of course, we allow you to print labels on demand when you're receiving or when you're making something or when you're shipping something or what have you, okay? Up at the top there, that mobile sales, that's a little bit of a different bird. We won't talk a lot about that today, but if you do have a will call counter, or if you have sales reps that go outside and they sit across the desk from your client and they want to take orders, or if you go to a trade show, or if you have route sales and you want people to build quotes or orders on the go, disconnected from Sage, that's what mobile sales does. Think of tablet with all the data synced from Sage about customer addresses and contact info and discount levels and inventory quantity levels, and all that's available at the person's fingertips, whether they're in the will call counter at a trade show or visiting your customer, okay? Now, down at the bottom, manufacturing. Bill of materials, production management, work order, we support all of them, okay? Actually, that make to order piece is a unique little enhancement on top of production management that turns it into a make to order solution. So when you enter a sales order, we can automatically create the production management work ticket for you. Anyone that's using production management or thinking about it, just yesterday, I did an educational webinar on 5 brand new enhancements for production management that we have just released, okay? And it's gonna be up on our website. If you go to YouTube and search for ScanForce, you'll find it. We're gonna post it out there. It actually may not be posted quite yet because it was just done yesterday, but once our marketing geniuses figure out, they get that all cleaned up, they'll publish that and you can check that out. So we've really covered the whole gamut of everything that happens in the warehouse, and we can create sales orders to feed the warehouse too. So that's at the core of what we do, okay? Now, in addition to these Core, Select, and Premier warehouse management systems, okay, the basic stuff, we do a lot of specialized stuff too. Something that I want to talk to you about is what's hot right now, because these are the topics that your peers in the Sage 100 world are talking to me about. When my phone rings and they say, I've got a problem, how do I fix it? These are the things. These are some of those 63 enhancements that I talked about that people are the most excited about, that are like our fast movers, if you will, okay? Now, here's the first one. Starship. Raise your hand if you use Starship for shipping, okay? You know what you have to do is you have to log in to Starship every time you go to ship an order, and you navigate through and you find the right order and you click the little truck icon and you print the labels. So it's a very manual process, kind of tedious, several screens involved. You have to do it every single time. Well, what if we took all of that off the table and you'd have to do it ever again? That's what this Starship integration does. See, with our handhelds, we'll allow you to say, scan this box, scan that box, or this pallet, whatever, and you build the transaction. Okay, you know what you're going to ship, then we send that data and ping Starship behind the scenes and say, hey, I'm ready for my labels, and they just magically start spitting out. And your users on the shop floor on a day-to-day, order-by-order basis will never even know that Starship is part of the process. All they do is scan the stuff they want to ship, it validates to the sales order, ping Starship behind the scenes, boom, labels spit out like magic, okay? It's really fast, really slick, okay? Something else that's really hot right now is license plating. Now, most of you will think of this as pallet tracking. We use license plating generically because not everybody ships at pallet level quantities. Some people ship in totes or barrels or bundles or bags or whatever, but it's just a way of grouping things together. Most of you think of it in terms of a pallet, but a lot of times we'll just say license plating generically. So the bottom line is, if you have forklifts or side loaders or pallet jacks in your operation, you and I should probably have a conversation. And let's talk about license plating, because with a license plate in Sage, we expand Sage inventory to understand what pallets are. And I can put 50 cases of the same thing on a pallet and shrink wrap it, and I know the lots or serials or expiration, whatever that's behind it. And then when I want to ship it, all I have to do is scan the pallet ID tag that ScanForce prints for you on the outside of that pallet. Boom, everything ships all at one time. You don't have to tell it all that other stuff. We've done it once, we identify it, we've labeled it, scan the pallet number, and it's out the door. Or when you're picking an order, you can put 50 different things on a pallet. And again, we're going to print a pallet ID for you. It says this is pallet number 1001. And then a day, a week, a month goes by, your customer says, I'm ready to ship that thing and release it. All you do is scan one barcode and all 50 things ship instantly. It's a tremendous efficiency gain, okay? So again, if you have equipment that looks like that, we need to talk. Okay? Image capture, this is really cool. See the guy with his little mobile device there? He's taking a picture of that container before he closes it up. It's all stacked up nice and neat like a jigsaw, a Jenga puzzle or something like that. These scanners that we use all day, every day in our operation, they have cameras in the back of them. So we're just leveraging the investment that you already make in the scanner, as the camera. We'll let you take a picture and say, this is what it looked like when it left my dock. So if it gets damaged before it gets to your client, you've got that CYA, you could show them the picture and you'd say, well, this is what it looked like when you left the building, Mr. Carrier. It's on you by the time it got to the customer and was damaged. And we allow you to do this at the outbound stage on shipping. We also allow it on the inbound side on receiving. So if you receive something that's damaged, you open the door and everything's flipped over, take a picture. Open a box, it's broken, take a picture. If you want to digitize documents, bill of lading, packing list, something like that, material safety data, whatever it is, take a picture. You can digitize documents. We're going to save these images automatically in Sage. You don't even have to say save it. You just take the picture, it's automatically saved in Sage. And the name of the image, the actual file, is going to be either the PO number or the sales order number with a counter at the end. So if you have 2 or 3 pictures for one transaction, it'll be PO number -001, 002, 003, that sort of thing. So a day, a week, a month later, you could go back and call that up. A year later, heck, you can go ahead, whatever you want to. Call that image up, and then you could send it out to a carrier, a vendor, whatever you need to prove that it wasn't your fault, okay? And I hear people tell me all the time, the cost of fighting one of these claims is more than this enhancement costs. And this enhancement will protect every single shipment, inbound or outbound, okay? Production management, I touched on this one earlier. I told you we have these new enhancements. So if you are into manufacturing, make to order will allow you to automatically create work tickets from sales orders. If you create a sales order, you need to make something, make to order will automatically make the work ticket for you. This work ticket material management, this, folks, is huge. This is the biggest one that we've got in this arena, and it's a mammoth thing for everybody doing PM. Never in the history of Sage Production Management have you been able to zero in all the way down, if you want, to the lot and serial level and reserve inventory against a work ticket. Now, you know, when you enter a sales order, you can drill all the way down to the lot or serial number and say, I want to reserve that. The term is allocate that material to my sales order. We are now extending the same functionality to production management. You can reserve against work tickets. We also, in doing this, allow you to do traditional picking, just like you do for sales orders, against work tickets. You can do directed picking. We know where it is in the system. We can say, go there, grab it, pull it, stage it over by the manufacturing area, or if I want to move it over here to this guy, this is machine number 3. I can pick it, move it to machine number 3, and that way everybody knows exactly where it is. This work ticket material management is huge. Okay. Labor dilution. That's if you're working on multiple things at one time. We can split the labor. Punch clock, track labor that's not associated with a specific work ticket, just labor in general. Step status update. With work tickets, there's statuses, so you can change those on the fly now on the handheld. And work ticket completions by sales order. Basically what that means is you have multiple work tickets that are going to feed one sales order. You can process those at one time because they're all grouped by that sales order. So instead of having to go into each one individually, you can do them collectively. So again, that's a very high level, but those are some of the things that we can do on the production side of things, okay? And again, not just production management, do bill of materials also, even legacy work order, okay? So those are some of the things that are kind of hot that people are talking to us a lot. There's a lot more than that. Remember, I said there were 63 enhancements. I'm just throwing up a handful of them here that are kind of the hot, big topics of the day, okay? Now, one of the things that you have to consider when you get in bed with any software company is what's the support going to be like ongoing. And this is one of those things where I'm going to tell you, don't take my word for it. Talk to your MicroAccounting rep, talk to them, get their opinion. They're your trusted advisor. You know them, they know your business probably better than you do in some instances. Talk to them, ask them their opinion and see what they say. Here at ScanForce, number one, you have unlimited support. There is no number of contacts per month, phone, email, whatever. It's completely unlimited. Our software is very stable. It's very fast. It's very complete. So we can offer this because we know we're not going to get inundated because the stuff works. Okay. We also track and analyze. So if we have 5 things that come up in 1 month on one area, we can come back to you and say, hey, look, a little bit of extra training on your people's part, and you'll get away from all these problems, and your thing will flow much more efficiently. Okay, product updates always free. So every time there's an update to Sage, if you want to upgrade to 2025 or PU1, PU2, whatever, then those are free. You just email us, ping us, let us know when. We'll jump online, remote in, upload the new files, and you're ready to go. Okay, so that goes for any kind of updates to Sage that happens.